Reserves the balance of time. Gentleman from Mississippi, Mr. Harper.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself as much time as I may consume.
Without objection, gentleman is recognized.
I'm honored to rise today in support of House Concurrent Resolution 131 and certainly greatly appreciate the leadership of Congressman Dan Lundgren on this matter, who is delayed by travel and unable to be here at this time. This resolution would direct the architect of the Capitol to engrave our national motto, "In God We Trust," and the Pledge of Allegiance in the Capitol Visitor Center. The installation of these two references will be a reminder of the importance of our founders and what they placed on the guidance of Providence in the birth and development and the future of our nation. The Declaration of Independence, our nation's first national document, spoke to inalienable rights given by our Creator. Those men acknowledged that in signing that document, one that would be seen as high treason by the King of England, that they were placing themselves under the protection of divine providence. When Congress adopted our Great Seal in 1782, included in its design were numerous allusions to biblical references, and the seal was marked by the words "Annuit Cooptes," which translated means "Providence has favored our undertakings." As the founders were drafting the Constitution, numerous sources point to their collective reliance on God for direction and wisdom. In 1787, when the Constitution was framed at the convention in Philadelphia, Benjamin Franklin reminded the delegates, "To that kind Providence we owe this happy opportunity of consulting in peace on the means of establishing our future national felicity." During the War of 1812, when Francis Scott Key penned the Star-Spangled Banner, he included in the final stanza, "Praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust." These glimpses into our history show but a few examples of the national consciousness that served as a prelude to the establishment of our national motto. The establishment of "In God We Trust" as the nation's motto sprung out of a Civil War letter. The letter from Reverend M.R. Watkinson of Pennsylvania urged Treasury Secretary Chase to install upon our currency some indication for future generations of the nation's religious consciousness. Reverend Watkinson was concerned the United States might be shattered beyond recognition by the Civil War. Secretary Chase agreed and instructed the Director of the U.S. Mint that no nation can be strong except in the strength of God, or safe except in His defense. The trust of our people in God should be declared on our national coins. The presidency of Dwight Eisenhower saw the codification of both our national motto and the Pledge of Allegiance as we know it. On Flag Day in 1954, President Eisenhower signed the federal law which added "Under God" to the pledge. 2 years later, President Eisenhower signed into law the bill officially recognizing "In God We Trust" as our national motto. The motto has since been installed on both our paper currency and, of course, the Speaker's rostrum in the House. By incorporating our national motto and the Pledge of Allegiance as permanent fixtures in the CVC, we will provide further testimony to our nation's rich history and the degree to which these two statements reflect the philosophical foundation of these United States. At this time, I would like to enter into the record of those of my colleagues who, in addition to the 160 co-sponsors of House Concurrent Resolution 131, wish to be added but were unable due to time constraints. Those are the Honorable Roscoe Bartlett of Maryland, the Honorable Roy Blunt of Missouri, the Honorable Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, the Honorable Andrew Crenshaw of Florida, the Honorable David Dreyer of California, the Honorable Elton Gallegly of California, the Honorable Brett Guthrie of Kentucky, the Honorable Darrell Issa of California, the Honorable Lynn Jenkins of Kansas, the Honorable Tim Johnson of Illinois, the Honorable Blaine Luetkemeyer of Missouri, the Honorable Jerry Moran of Kansas, the Honorable Bill Schuster of Pennsylvania, and the Honorable Pat Tiberi of Ohio. I am proud to stand in support of this resolution and urge my colleagues' support. Thank you, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves the balance of his time.